Hey Internet, Sergeant, welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today's episode, we're talking about the future evolutions we could see in the credit card space. You see, we've seen a few different credit cards now come out that have started to push the boundaries of where we've normally been, moving from 1.5x to 2x, moving to 3x, challenging the relationship game of banking, if you will. So we're going to break that down. I have some thoughts and I'd love to get yours as well. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button and let's get to work. Now, again, conversational episode, but I think it'll be a good conversation to get going with you guys. So what I mean by the evolution of credit cards is, if you imagine like the old Pokemon evolution stones, right? You turn your Pikachu into Raichu or whatever. I don't remember all the evolutions, but get the point. Charmander evolves and eventually into Charizard. We've been sitting in the credit card space, I think, pretty still for quite some time. Like on the personal side, if you're talking about a catch-all card, 2% has been the max you're going to get. And sure, there's plenty of category cards, but 2%, catch all. And then on the business side, 1.5x is really where everyone was staying. But we've seen a few different cards that has me thinking like we're getting to a point now where even the major issuers who generally stay out of the fight or have been kind of lazy for a while, Chase and American Express, are going to have to start considering what they want to do to fend off these new competitors, if you will. And of course, what are some things we should watch out for? So 3 things come to mind. First of all, the Wells Fargo Business Signify card, U.S. Bank Smartly program, and then I think you also can throw in the Robinhood card in there as well as things, there's use cases for this, if you will. So if you take it to begin with the Wells Fargo Business Signify, when it came out, on the surface, it's not really anything to write home about. We liked it more for the intro offer than anything else. It's a 2% card, and again, 2% is not enough to move the needle for anyone watching this show by any means, myself included. So you'd get it for the intro offer and you'd leave it be. But if you think about it in the context of products from all the major banks, it's actually pretty significant because business cards, for whatever reason, have always been scared to go past 1.5x. Bank of America, Business Unlimited Cash, 1.5x. Yes, you can add preferred rewards to it, but base 1.5. Inc Unlimited, 1.5x. Right, those are the standard ones, and we can go through and we can find plenty more just like that. But again, for simplicity's sake, we'll keep it there to the big guys. And so for some, yes, I'll also acknowledge, yes, you can throw out American Express, Blue Business Cash, which I have, and Blue Business Plus, which I also have, that do go to 2% back, but they're capped at $50,000 in spend. So historically, we assume businesses are going to spend large sums of money, on inventory and ad spend and things like that. So it wouldn't be crazy, for a business to earn a ton of points. But for whatever reason, banks have stayed away for 2x. But then Wells Fargo comes along and they bring out their 2x uncapped card. And it's a no annual fee card. And it's a lot easier to redeem their points than it is for American Express, which is capped. And that's a game changer. On its own, doesn't look like much, but you think about it in the space of the card world, like we now have someone who's a major bank, like 3rd or 4th largest bank in the country, who's moved to 2%. And so really start to look at, well, what does that mean for Chase? We've long since wanted a Chase to do a 2% card. They've long since said no. Obviously, the Inc Unlimited being the business card, but the Freedom Unlimited as well has gone away from 2%. If you want your 2%, you've got to go through the travel portal with the Sapphire card. They've stayed away from it. We've long since wanted American Express to do better at cash back, and they've largely ignored it. They've put caps on a lot of their cards that earn even just 3% back category, some even 2%. So, that was the first card that caught my attention. Like, that could be interesting because Wells Fargo is a major bank, but they're still also on the up and coming, rebuilding their credit card program. Now, the other one is U.S. Bank. One card that I'm super hyped about is the Smartly card. Now, it's a base 2% card, which again, everyone has. Again, U.S. Bank comes out with a base 2% card, where Chase still doesn't have a base 2% card, right? So that right there. Another one, U.S. Bank, top 5 bank, so by no means a slouch by any means, but they come right out with 2%. Again, something else that Chase just doesn't offer. Now, they also go after Bank of America with their Smartly program, which is targeted at preferred rewards. I'm a member of both. I'm platinum monitor of Bank of America, and I split my IRA down the middle, basically, to send the other 100,000 over to U.S. Bank, so I could be in their 100,000 tier 2. But for the longest time, Bank of America has been out there unchallenged with their preferred reward system. And now all of a sudden they're challenged, and they're challenged with a better base card. Because Bank of America's base card, one, starts at 1.5x in the unlimited cash card, which I have. And then it cranks all the way up to 2.62% if you have $100,000 with them, which I do. US Bank, on the other hand, their base card is 2%. It's metal, say what you will, but I get a lot of questions on, is the card metal, especially back in the day when we were doing all those videos about looking at random cards. We've just since kind of run out of banks to look at, but people care about the metal cards. So it's metal, it's 2% base, which already beats them straight up. And then their tiers are much more friendly, right? The $100,000 tier that I aspire to get to, which I am at, is 4% back. But for like $5,000, I think you get like 2.5% back, which is already right there. So I got like 5,000 versus 100,000 to get within a point, if that. Not even less than a point. And so you can all of a sudden they come out of the gate and they charge. Now, yes, today, or they challenge. Yes, today Bank of America is still more robust program, but Smartly's brand new. We got to give it time. And Smartly did the smart thing and came out and went after the highlight product already, which is the 4% credit card. But if you go back again through the web, all these banks offer wealth management, but none of them have the program now that US Bank does, another challenger, right? And then lastly is the Robinhood card, which is interesting because that's a card I would say made by people who understand this market the best, because Robinhood ended up buying X1, and then they we assume, converted that over to their card. But that, when I say it's made for people who understand, like Robinhood was very involved in the the meme stock deal. I believe they would probably understand the credit card churner and the rewards hunters the best. So much so that, they have the 3% card. Of course, you can get it if you join Robinhood Gold. But they've been on guard, it seems, for people to, not quite manufactured spend, but even, spend on like taxes and high purchase items, high dollar things like that. That's why I say they understand this group better than the banks, or they care more, they're more sensitive to it. It'd be any one of those three, really. We don't really know. So anyhow, those are the kind of the three cards that we've seen as of late that has me thinking, and now we're at a point where how much longer can the big guys go and no longer be competitive or come out with anything new? Because if you remember, the Freedom Flex was the last time we probably lost our mind over a Chase card, and that was 2020. Now Chase is rumored to be making the Palm card and the Emerald card, which would be for private client, I believe. It's all rumors. We don't know if they're going to have, if it's actually going to happen. So they're in the pipeline with some stuff. But again, they could be losing the mainstream person, or even people like us who can't be a part of every single ecosystem. The same with American Express. Like when American Express is historically, they went through a 40 product refresh, and out of that 40 product refresh, I don't know anyone came out saying, yes, that's amazing. At best, people are like, I can live with the price hike and the other fees, but no one was like, now I'm excited to have this card. Again, it could just be me, but when Smartly came out, I was on the, chatting with my US Bank. I'm like, yes, let's figure out how to make this happen. And so I think a lot of the bigger guys have been sleeping. Even Citi, to kill the Citi Premier and then bring it back with some of the travel insurances under the Strata Premier name, the things that people have been asking for, is some level of a concession, right? And we could go on down the list. Again, I love the autograph journey card, things like that. So I think we're at the point now where the big guys are going to have to decide, do I want to defend? Do I want to outright challenge and retake back the crown where it was a definitive answer that Chase and Amex were the best? Because now I don't know that they are. We did a video a while back how the Citi Custom Cash killed the category cards, because the answer used to be get as many Freedom cards as you could. Now the answer is get as many Custom Cash cards as you can get, because it's that much easier to use than playing this category guessing game. Now, the other side of this is I do believe there's some things we're going to have to look out for as the game progresses and we figure out if they're going to evolve to the next form or not. And if you go through it, the ecosystem play. You see ecosystems the most in technology, right? The reason I'm known as an Apple sheeple, which is accurate, but this is one of the first years where I was like, wow, the Pixel 9 Pro XL looks pretty good. But the ecosystem lock-in is a real thing. I can't tell you the amount of times I pick up this phone because, work email, whatever, comes to your phone faster than it does your laptop, at least for me. and I want to copy paste from my phone to my computer, and it just doesn't do it because I'm on a work computer and a personal iPhone. Like, so the ecosystem lock-in is a real. Of course, you can do copy and paste from your phone to your Mac, no problem, and that's what kind of keeps me going from to like a Pixel phone or something. But the point being is, we're seeing the ecosystem lock-in become more prevalent in these evolutions, which rightfully so. You don't want to invest in and have people leave. The Chase ecosystem lock-in, I think, is almost dead, quite honestly. The only thing that keeps people loving the trifecta is Hyatt. People have a love for Hyatt, which is fine. I stay at Hyatt's. I like Hyatt. I'm more of a Marriott person, but that's really it. The Chase trifecta, superfecta is kind of come and gone almost, and there's still tremendous value in the portal. Don't get me wrong, but it's not nearly as talked about or prevalent as it used to be. American Express, their lock-in was more so you needed multiple cards to earn enough meaningful MR cards in a bunch of categories. But now we see again, with Smartly, for example, I've got a whole video on this. The way to get smartly, again, same pun, I guess, is to have multiple of their products. Again, you need a savings account to be in the program. Savings account has a fee unless you have a linked checking account. Checking account has a fee unless you have a linked credit card. So you can see how they're building it in. Which is not as bad as Bank of America, because Bank of America you do need a checking account, but that's it. Then you could put the money wherever you want. And so the point is, if we want people to do these wealth management plays where we can put more money in them, get better rewards. But if everyone starts to do it, the lock-in's going to get more real. And myself, I can't split another IRA again. I'm between Platinum Honors and Smartly's 100K tier. Like, I'm good. If Chase started another one today, I don't have enough money to get over there, let alone the lock-in piece that could come as well. We see that again with Robinhood. Obviously, theirs is a subscription base where they want you to be in Robinhood Gold, which again is fair and makes sense. But it's still they're trying to a little bit harder to lock in your business, which is fair. The other thing is, as these rewards keep going, people are ever and ever more cognizant of us on the internet, in the depths of Reddit and YouTube. It's not hidden anymore in like forums where people don't really go. It's kind of mainstream nowadays. And so we see things like Robinhood going on the offensive or defensive already when people use their Robinhood Gold at 3x to pay for taxes. And Robinhood will just say, hey, no, this looks like business spend. You're not getting your points for this, which is clearly not business spend, because property taxes are a personal thing because you would do it on your personal residence. Income taxes are a personal thing, personal income tax. But because it hits some kind of dollar amount on their side, or it's a tax code, they're just already blocking against it, which I don't believe is fair. It's not really the purpose of this topic to debate if it's fair or not. But the point is, as rewards start to increase and these evolutions start to happen, there is the concern, my concern anyways, that these banks will start to also go on the defensive more and start to block more of these things. We've seen mandates from Chase, to people with affiliate links to say, hey, you stop talking about these gift cards. They haven't gone so far as to like block gift card purchases, but they usually don't talk about as much. I can say because I don't have Chase affiliate links anymore because I didn't sell enough cards, so they took them, which is fine. But you see my point. So that's another thing I think we have to watch out for. But overall, to kind of bring this thesis home with a bow on it, we've seen a few banks who by far aren't startups by any means. Wells Fargo and US Bank, not startups. They're in the Power 5 of banking. But we've seen them start to put their resources to good use, benefit for us, bolster their product lineup. If you watch, you know how big of a fan I am of Wells Fargo cards right now. I'm trying to get more. You know how much of a fan I am about US Bank Smartly, because I put my money up for where my mouth is and join the program, but they're trying. And then you've got the people at the top. Again, Bank of America Preferred Rewards needs to be bolstered. I've done whole videos on that. Will Bank of America respond, move up their program? Will Chase respond with better cards, a 2% card even, things that become table minimums everywhere else? And that's where it gets interesting. I think they're going to have to at some point, or they will eventually start to lose. I think they'll start to lose younger, up-and-coming folks, right? The people who bank with them and their money's already over there, I don't think it's a common thing to want to move from Bank of America to US Bank. I really don't. But if you're trying to choose where to go, then I think Robinhood does look interesting. US Bank does look interesting. I think that's the group that they start to worry about the most. We're old enough probably that they don't care. But the younger generation, the up-and-coming, hey, what is this, the high earners, not rich yets, whatever acronym that is. Those are the people I think they start to potentially miss out on if they don't, go harder. And then again, as we just said, with that, what restrictions come? How do they protect themselves from just the churners, if you will, getting in and just ransacking different bonuses? Do requirements get uptight? Do they put more restrictions on the ecosystem, more dollar amount requirements? Do they just get more strict with what they'll pay points on? Who's to say, really? But these are the things I think it's worth keeping your eye out on, especially as we move into 2025 and beyond. We'll have to see. We know we have some cards coming. We know City owes us another card in the Strata Elite. We know Chase again, the Palm and the Emerald card, for example. It's long since been rumored American Express will make an Optio card or another card higher than Platinum. So we know Wells Fargo still owes us another card, probably a premium card. We know there'll probably be a U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve successor, things like that. So as we watch for those cards to come out, I feel like that's the way. And we've got other brokerages that could compete with Robinhood as well. So anyways, I think it's a fun topic. I'll turn it over to you. Let me know what your thoughts are on the evolution of the card game. Do you think we're at some kind of point where we could see in the next year or two things really break out, move to the next tier? Or do you think, just a fun topic if nothing else? But either way, we'll be profitable either way. So of course, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. We were posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, the channel's blog, which is always linked down below for you, and on the channel homepage. We not only have the latest bank promotions, and we have credit card offers as well. So as they go, hopefully our offers go up as well. But anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.